I didn't grow up thinking I'd be a scientist. I grew up wondering if we could keep the heating on. I was raised in generational poverty, the kind that quietly tells you who you are and what your future will look like before you've even had a chance to imagine something better. That's what identity feels like when you're poor, handed down, not chosen. I lived in social housing, I was on free school meals, and I got my uniform using vouchers. I always wondered, how long would the gas and electric last for? How long would that next fiver last? Sometimes it lasted through the night. Other times I'd be sat at the table, gloves on, doing my homework by candlelight like some weird Dickensian parody, except this was 1996. I went to bed hungry more times than I could count. I vividly remember fleas in the carpet, sleeping in dirty bedding, and lying awake when drug-fueled parties filled our house. I hated it. And I honestly thought that everyone else had it better. Better clothes, better parents, better opportunities. I reeked of other people's choices, the smell of passive smoke and neglect clinging to my school jumper. And when you grow up like that, you don't just inherit poverty, you inherit limits. But then came the science. I remember the first time my chemistry teacher dropped a piece of potassium into the water. It spat and sparked and erupted into a violent violet flame. Everyone screamed. I leaned in closer. For the first time, I didn't feel behind. I felt curious, capable, maybe even a little bit clever. And it was that belief that I could belong in the science lab, that spark that changed everything. Science was the delivery system for possibility. It's a reaction that keeps spreading, and it started with just one spark. That spark gave me a new identity. Not poor, not hopeless, not invisible, just someone who could go somewhere. And when I say that science changed my life, I don't just mean I got top grades. It changed the way I saw myself. Someone who could have an exciting future. It's like I'd won Charlie Bucket's golden ticket. Eventually, I realized I could help others feel that shift from invisible to possible. Now, this science demo isn't just a little bit of fun. Every single part of it is a metaphor. This bottle, this represents a child. This could be any child, but this one's been squashed by circumstance and neglect. You might not see the bruises, but you sometimes see it in their behavior and their belief systems. They've had years of not good enough, of labels and limits. So let's add some ingredients for change. First up, we've got hydrogen peroxide. That's always there, even if you can't see it. Potential. Next, we're going to add some washing up liquid. This represents support systems, safety, security, structure. You can't have too much washing up liquid. And next, I think we need a sprinkle of glitter, imagination, because children, well, they should sparkle. And whilst we're here, let me tell you a little bit about Sarah. She used to sit at the back of the chemistry lab, shoulders hunched, thinking that science wasn't for her. The equations blurred, the experiments felt intimidating, and she thought she'd never fit in. One teacher noticed her and encouraged her, and that kindness stuck. It made her feel like she belonged. Now, Sarah has 2 degrees and is a teacher herself, fostering that same sense of belonging in her classroom. And that's what happens when you have potential, support, and imagination at just the right time. But still, not much is happening here. That's because sometimes potential needs a catalyst, a helping hand, a kick up the bum. So I've got a catalyst. It's just yeast and warm water, which is funny because yeast is alive, like you and me. So let's add this. Oh my goodness, that's identity shifting right before your very eyes. It's messy, it's surprising, and well, once it starts, you can't stop it. You really can't. Sometimes catalysts don't come in the form of a teacher. They might come later in life. How about Hannah? She worked in a nice, safe corporate job, but it didn't really light her up. One day, she had a bit of an idea. What if young children could learn coding through play? No tablets, no screens, no technology, just hands-on curiosity. It all felt a little bit too much, the juggle, daily life. But she had someone who listened, someone who cheered her on when she doubted herself. And now, she's a published author and an entrepreneur helping children build skills for the future. That's what catalysts do. They don't just change chemistry, they change people. Education can come in many forms, and so can the people that deliver it. Some learners flourish in school, others find their spark in adult life. And some, like Toby, need a different learning environment altogether. By year 4, Toby was hiding under tables and silent in school. He was overwhelmed by anxiety, allergies, and sensory overload. But at home, he was kind and bright. He just needed learning to feel safe again. His family found an online learning platform where the lessons met him where he was, human, a little bit silly, and a little bit fun. Now he's thriving and feeling able to join in for the first time. He's exploring everything from Year 5 English right up to GCSE Marine Science. His mum said the lessons have brought him back to life. He's usually upside down on the sofa, and he's absolutely science mad. And do you know what? I know all of those people. I was Sarah's A-level chemistry teacher. I'm proud to call myself Hannah's friend and cheerleader. And I'm one of Toby's online science teachers. But before I was any of those things to any of those people, I was just that kid on free school meals. But now I know you don't have to accept the identity the world hands you. Identity isn't fixed. You're not a noun, you're a verb, and you can rise and you can change. You can build your identity one thought at a time. So I want to leave you with this. If you work with children, or you have children, or you just bump into one, share your passion. Get excited and a little bit silly about the thing you love. Because if you're not excited about it, why on earth should they be? And if you haven't found the thing that lights you up yet, please keep looking. It's never too late to change direction, to change not just what you do, but who you are. We can't always change what children are born into, but we can change what they believe is possible. Education doesn't work until it makes you believe that you matter. And when a child believes that they matter, their identity and their possibility and their purpose can change forever. Thank you.